Hey guys, Table here. Today we got a game in the Monarch for you. Cutting name on the screen here, I got Celiax, which increases the shell AP damage. Hide increases the ship's HP by a percentage. Got a game on shards here. Domination, very interesting setup here. You'll note one destroyer per side. Now, destroyers are always valuable, especially in a domination mode game like this. But if you only have one per side, we're going to see the effect that one team losing it early has on the outcome of the game. So, in general, domination mode games, destroyers always kind of have to stay alive. They need to be spotting for the team. They have various roles, kind of countering other destroyers or at least helping find them. But in domination mode, capturing bases, putting pressure on bases, interacting with the bases, extremely important. Destroyers are kind of the key to that. So if you're in the destroyer and you're in a domination mode game, you kind of have to play pretty conservative with your own health. That doesn't mean don't do anything, don't put yourself in effective positions, don't try and affect the outcome of the game, but rather, if the situation's dire, you need to recognize that and you need to get out of there. You need to stay alive. Now you'll note on the map shards, particularly battleships, which are going to be spotted quite often. You can see we're kind of lined up against the guys north of C, obviously, but the guys that are playing B, we're kind of in range of them, and they're in range of us. So there's crossfire potentials on this map for battleships in particular. You can see we're pointed towards the ships in B, so we're kind of angled towards them at a 0-degree angle, and we're angled at these ships at about a 45-degree angle. That protects us from essentially both of them. We're potentially going to take a little bit of damage from the battleships to the north. Prince Eugen's coming across here. Citadels with these British battleships, you can get them against cruisers, as we see there. Pretty nice salvo, about 20k. Battleships, though, you're not going to be getting a lot of Citadel ribbons, i.e. the shells are going to be exploding before they can penetrate the Citadel armor of the battleships. That doesn't mean you're not getting Citadel-esque damage. We'll see some 10, 20k type salvos, pretty decent type shots. But just because you're not getting the ribbons, don't be discouraged. You just kind of have to understand where to aim. Bismarck, for example, we're trying to hit him primarily in the superstructure, upper hull, and decent damage there. Kind of a long-range shot. I'm not as worried. Now we're angled towards the ships to the north. You can see the rear of the ship pointing towards them. And now we're 45-degree angles towards this B. I'm not as worried about the Bismarck in terms of gun threats because German battleships at long range, which we are basically at max range, he's going to have a very hard time hitting me. Doesn't mean he can't do damage, but in general, I should be able to out-trade him. And you can see there another nice chunk of damage on him, 20k or whatever it was. No Citadels, but doesn't really matter. Bismarck, we're not going to get a lot of Citadels. Doesn't really matter what ship we're shooting them at. Or shooting them with, but it's just kind of the nature of the beast when you're playing these ships. Now, getting back to the destroyers that we were talking about earlier on, you can see they've been instrumental in capping. They got B with their destroyer, our destroyer spawned on A, they got that, and now they've killed our destroyer. So their destroyer, as long as he can stay alive, can really sail around, continue to capture or put pressure on caps, and they should be able to win on score, at least have an advantage. Due to the increasing score, and that'll put pressure on our team to respond to that. If they get multiple caps and we don't, then they can just kind of hang back. And if we choose to not respond, then we go ahead and lose the game. He could have gone to C. C is neutral though right now, and they also have a couple ships that are positioned to attack it. But it's kind of a good call to go towards A. We're getting points from A right now. Now that he gets on A, we're no longer getting those points. And when they flip that cap, they're going to have the 2 cap advantage that they're likely to get either way. If he went to C or A, they're almost certain going to get 2 of those caps. So good call from his perspective, strategic perspective, getting on A. You can see our team down there. We got guys directly to the south of the island. They can't put pressure on that cap. And then we have, looks like another cruiser or whatever that third ship is. That's kind of not really in a position to contest it either. So good decision making there. They're also putting pressure into C. We're going to try and minimize that. We do have a cruiser in the complete northeast side of the map, chose to abandon him. You could say that's cold-hearted or whatever, but that's a calculated decision. Number one, he's up there 1v1 with the Prince Eugen. I can't remember what our cruiser is, but he's also got 2 Iowas over there. So the odds of him going up there, doing whatever the heck he thinks he's going to do in his mind, and getting out of there alive, extremely slim to begin with. But we're going to move over here. We want to get B because you can see they flipped A now. They're in the process of capturing C. They have captured C now. But we need to get at least 1 cap, otherwise the score is going to get out of control. So we kind of came over here, number 1, to disengage from a situation that we were kind of an intractable fight over there. And number 2, we want to make sure that we get this B cap so we don't concede the game too early. Now the Iowas on this team did recognize an opportunity to move into C, capture it, but because we repositioned, now we have access to the broadside. We got a 20k there, and that's, again, no Citadel ribbons popping up. That's Citadel-esque damage. There's another, 10k, I believe, yeah. So pretty strong damage just because we're not penetrating that Citadel doing max AP damage. It's not the end of the world. We're still scoring nice shots. Primarily pointed at the Iowa. We have a Bismarck over there. We zoom in on him to check his gun position. He's not looking on us. We're also angled towards that other Bismarck that's kind of to the north, slightly to the east there. So we're only firing the front 2 guns, but that's fine. We're minimizing the damage potential from the Iowa. Once he's on this reload cycle, we kind of point directly towards him. He's more of a threat. He's closer range. Guns will be more accurate. Guns are more dangerous to begin with. So we kind of changed who we're angling against there, and as we attempt to finish him off, you can see we're not taking a lot of damage. In general, we're trading pretty well with this guy. Any duel in this game, particularly Battleship v Battleship, though, it's about positive trades. If you're going to be taking some incoming damage per salvo and doing some outgoing damage. He's broadside, we can blast him pretty hard. We're angled at him. We're minimizing the damage that they can do. The other Iowa kind of recognized the threat that we presented by pushing in. He's disengaging. And now the goal is to get on C here. We're not going to be able to capture C, but we're going to get on it to stop them from getting points from this cap, and that's important. Why are we not going to capture this? Because the Iowa can reset us every time they have that Prince Eugen up there. You saw that HE salvo coming in. All these guys have to do is hit me once every 10, 15, 20 seconds. They'll take away all the points that I'm accruing. So the point of being on here is not with the intention of capping. If they want to stop shooting at me and give me the cap, fine, I'm not going to complain. But primarily, we're just on here to slow things down. We need the team that's on A, and we'll see. We're going to turn around and ping. It's kind of ridiculous that the guy in C has to be directing the play all the way across the map. But they need to be on A and flip that very quickly, because you can see they're winning on score and we're up ships, and that's a problem. So as soon as we can get A, the game is going to be much more likely to wrap up. Again, being reset by the Bismarck secondaries, but again, we're going to be angled towards him, and we're going to be positively trading. We're going to get more damage over time on his ship than he's going to be able to get over time on my ship. We're backing him up now. Well, there's the call out, but should be checking that other Bismarck too, because he does have access to our broadside there, so we need to be keeping an eye on him. We aim up there as that ship angles away, get some, we knocked out his gun, got some superstructure damage. If we're hitting him in the hull when he's angled, those shells are all going to bounce or shatter, not going to do any damage. So if the ship's angled away or angled towards you, then go ahead and aim up. That's how you're going to do more damage. Prince Eugen looked like he was going to be available here to shoot at, but as we kind of move backwards into position, he turns around, so we're not going to be able to blast him. But keeping an eye on the map allowed us to at least spot that potential opportunity. Getting rid of ships at this point in time is critical. We need to be removing their ability to deal damage to our team, and we need to get some points back, as they've had control of the scoring of this game for quite a while. I would like to kill that Eugen if possible, but you can see our attention is back over here now. We're expecting that Iowa to be coming over. We're again going to check the Bismarck because he does pose a crossfire threat down there. But now, we got teammates that are shooting at the Eugen, and here comes the Iowa. We're pretty well angled towards them. Need to tighten that up just a little bit, but we do get a nice salvo off there. take some damage there, but we hit him hard. 20k, again, that's equivalent of about 2 citadels. So 6 pens, you know, good solid damage, and we're angled against him. But now we're pulling forward full speed ahead, not with the intention of necessarily ramming this guy, although that wouldn't be a horrible play. But there's really no reason to do it. We're pulling forward. We want this island that's on the left when we zoom out in between us and the Bismarck. Again, that thing, this guy's probably calling out for help. The Bismarck's probably looking over there. There you can see the incoming salvo. So a little late getting forward here, but I think we were going about as quick as possible. So that's the intention. You always want to be aware of who's got the potential to crossfire you. Evaluate, can I limit that crossfire? Can I block it by islands? Or if not, do I need to reposition my ship in terms of angling? And, you know, just all the different factors that go into it. Iowa did go down there, and if you did note, again, once he hit that about 45-degree angle, we aimed up into the top half of the hull superstructure. Hitting the hull itself would have, of course, bounced those shots. Would have allowed him to get another salve off on us, potentially kill us. And even though this game's pretty much wrapped up at this point in time, you don't want to be fooling around, because you can always look. There's a low health blue ship over there. Their Bismarck's pretty full health. You can scan, which you should be doing. You should always keep an eye on your team's HP and the enemy team's HP, but potentially all our ships could be really low, and he could whittle us down one by one. As we're coming around the island here, the back gun's still catching up, so we can fire the full salvo without wasting that back gun, because that back gun would have hit the island. Now we're going to slow down a little bit, let the back gun catch up, and take another shot at the Bismarck here. Pretty close range, you know, not a massive damage salvo there, but kind of wonky dispersion. We kind of missed some of those shots. And in this point in time, we're just trying to tank any incoming fire. Can't do anything about the secondaries. If it sets us on fire, we'll go ahead and use that damage con, but we get some more juicy damage there. And we end up with about 180 some odd damage, so pretty decent game on shards, I thought. Kind of interesting in terms of the flow, evaluating what needs to be done, changing our position, and things along that nature. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that one. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, well, consider subscribing. There's always a lot more World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. I do love to hear from you guys. And we'll see y'all later. Alright, peace.